Welcome to my video on calculation of interest on a savings account with the TI-84 Plus CE calculator. So what I want to do today is go over this general formula that you would use to calculate the interest rate or the amount of money you would make by putting your money in a savings account. So you start out with, here's your formula for calculating that, and it's kind of a general formula where A is the amount you're going to end up after a number of periods that you compound the interest. This is the principal amount you're going to start out with. This is going to be the annual interest rate in a decimal format. And N is the number of compounding periods per year. And this is the product of N and T right here. So this gives you the total number of compounding periods. So the first, we want to do an example. We will look at where we have got yearly. We're going to do it for 5 years. We're going to compound it once per year. This is not the normal case, but it is the simplest case. So we start with $10,000. In this case, N is equal to 1, T is equal to 5 years, and you've still got a 4% interest rate, which is currently about what they're paying right now, actually, on a CD. So 10,000 times 1 plus 0.04 divided by 1, so that's just 0.04, raised to the 1 times 5, raised to the 5th power. So now let's do that in the calculator and see what we get. Get my trusty TI-84 out. Get it positioned here for you where you can see it. And turn it on. I'm going to clear it. Always clear it. So in this case, we're wanting to do the 10,000 times, and then parentheses, 1 plus 0.04, close the parentheses, raise all of it to the 5th power, enter. So at the end of 5 years at 4% interest, compounded yearly, we're going to have $12,166.53. So that's where we're at, doing it that most simple method. Now, on example 2, let's do another one here. We're going to compound now. We're going to compound quarterly. So in this case, we've got the same $10,000. We're going to do it 4 times a year, or quarterly is the compounding, and for 5 years at 4% interest. So plugging that into the formula, here $10,000, 1 plus 0.04 divided by 4, so that's 0.01, times, or raised to the 4 times 5, which is 20. That's the 20th power. So let's enter that into the calculator and see what we get. First, we want to clear it. So 10,000 times the quantity 1 plus 0.04 divided by 4, which is 0.01, close the parentheses, and then raise that to the 20th power. And we hit enter. So we're getting $12,201.90, so a little bit more money by compounding quarterly. So next, let's look at the third example where we're going to compound daily. This is what a lot of banks do, so this is probably a more realistic example. We've got our $10,000, and we compound 365 days a year for 5 years at a 4% interest rate. So this is going to be our formula now. 10,000 times 1 plus 0.04 divided by 365, raised to 365 times 5 power. So it's 1 raised to that large number. So let's do that in the calculator and see what we get. Clear it. 10,000 times parentheses 1 plus 0.04 divided by 365, close the parentheses. Now we want to raise all of this, and we'll put this in parentheses now, to 365 times 5, close that parentheses, so that's our power. Hit enter. So slightly more money now, $12,213.89. So let's look at the summary case of this. So what we have got now is we have got, so the $10,000 over 5 years at 4% interest, compounded yearly, gave us $12,166, quarterly $12,201, and then if we did it daily, $12,213. So what's about a $35 difference between going from yearly to quarterly, and then here we got about a $12 difference. So you can see it, more frequently you do it, it does give you more money, but if you would increase that to continuously, like every second or something, then it would even be a smaller increment here. You get a little more money. So what we can gather from this is, the more frequently the money is compounded, the more you have at the end of the time. You leave it in the savings account. And that's the joy of compound interest. And thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel.